It's the E-Commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-Commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. This episode of the E-Commerce Minute is brought to you by SendPro Online from Pitney Bowes. SendPro Online is software that makes it easy to save time and money, no matter what you ship or mail. Print shipping labels and stamps right from your desk and access discounted rates. E-Commerce Minute listeners can try it for free for 30 days and get a free 10-pound scale when you visit pb.com/minute. That's pb.com/minute. It's E-Commerce Minute episode 431.
In today's episode, New York City teams up with recyclers and brands to recycle fashion.
The Ellen MacArthur Foundation is teaming up with the New York City Department of Sanitation and New York City Economic Development Corporation for a citywide social media campaign titled #WhereNext in order to reduce the amount of clothing being dumped in landfills. The New York City Department of Sanitation has created a map that will guide people to more than 1,100 locations across the city where they can take clothes they no longer wear. Participating stores and other locations across the city will act as drop-off points. The campaign also encourages consumers to find ways to repair, reuse, resell, or swap old clothing. Participants can also share their stories on social media using the #WhereNext. Every year, New York City dumps 200 million pounds of clothing in landfills. Globally, 73% of the materials used to produce clothing are landfilled or burned at their, quote, end of life, unquote, while less than 1% of old clothing goes on to be used to make new clothing. The New York City program is part of an international recycling effort called Make Fashion Circular and is an initiative of the UK charity, the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, and is leading international efforts to establish a circular economy for fashion. Brands supporting the initiative include ASOS, Athleta, Banana Republic, Gap, H&M, and Other Stories, Reformation, and Zara. The campaign runs through June 12th of 2019. I like this.
Do you now? Do you?
I do. I like these kind of programs.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big, obviously recycling, clothing is a biggie.
Yeah,
there's plenty of
well,
people
I
that
mean,
you've seen the shows that they send so much clothing overseas, and you're like, but they don't want them.
yeah, well, that's the problem now is that China has basically closed the door to American recycling. So now the burden of recycling goes back to the recycling companies, and the recycling companies say this demand is far outstripped our capacity for reuse. So guess what? It's going in the landfill anyway. So people who sit and sort their recycling, very, very painstakingly, like me, are probably wasting their time because I know they've even said in Philadelphia, like 75% of your recycling now is just going to go right in the landfill. Nobody wants this stuff. The problem is there's more stuff than recyclers. I guess that's the way to phrase it. So it's a crazy situation, and clothing is even worse. And now that everyone has watched Marie Kondo on Netflix, everyone's cleaning out their closets, getting rid of their clothes. So if you look the map is on NYC.gov. You can look under the sanitation department list if you are in New York City. It gives you a pretty cool map. Like the story said, there are 1,100 locations all through Manhattan, Brooklyn, the whole suburbs, Queens. And the accepted types of clothing are shoes, obviously, clothing, coats, accessories, bedding. They take bedding. Wow. Linens and curtains, towels and rugs. This is pretty cool because and also on the map, it has different types of locations. So if you look at the pins on the map, the dark blue would be a retail store. There's not a lot of those. Light blue would be a nonprofit or a thrift store. Purple would be textile recycling or farmers market, which is pretty cool. Yellow, which is organizations and thrift store, and green, publicly accessible donation bins. Unfortunately, on this list, 99% of the pins on the map are just bins, which is okay. It's better than just throwing it in the trash as long as you know that it's getting thrown somewhere instead of out. But my concern about this is what happens after June 12th. They're only doing this for March, April, May, 3 or 4 months. And then what happens? I wonder if it's just a funding thing or they're trying it out, because what happens then? Do we go back to just tossing our Gucci bags in the trash?
Maybe.
So the whole program's got a nice social media campaign. They hired a famous photographer whose name, of course, I don't have in front of me, but so it's black and white. It's kind of like little close-ups of clothing, and with tagline that says, "Let's make fashion circular and give clothes a new life. #WhereNext." Apparently the campaign is going to be all through New York City in the next couple of weeks. So if you're in the city, check that out. Bart, would you like to tell us about today's sponsor?
Are you paying too much to send out packages and letters? Would it be nice to have a solution that can give you the lowest rates possible? With Semper Online from Pitney Bowes, it's easy to save time and money no matter what you send, from packages to overnights to flats. Easily compare USPS, UPS, and FedEx rates all in one online tool. Also, gain access to special USPS savings for letters and priority mail shipping. Print shipping labels and stamps from your own printer, track all your shipments, and get email notifications when they're arrived. Semper Online is only $14.99 a month, and being an e-commerce listener, you can get free 30-day trial to get started, plus a free 10-pound scale to help you accurately weigh your packages. And packages need to be weighed, so they're accurate. Visit P.
Yeah, you just throw the package out. You got to know how much it weighs.
Who cares, right? Visit pb.com/minute to access this special offer. That's pb.com/minute. Experience the better way of ship with a free trial of Semper Online.
Excellent, sir. Got any closing thoughts?
Recycle your stuff. I know some of this stuff goes to landfill, but just recycle your stuff.
Recycle and reuse. Very good advice. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media at Sumo Heavy.